Hi everyone, this is Tisha D. Colston, and let me just try to get this straight here. How's everybody doing this morning? Yeah, I'm gonna fumble with my hair, make sure it's all right. Anyway, just checking in this today, coming to do I'm outside and there's bugs out here, but the best lighting is out here. Every time I go in the house, I gotta get some new lights. Anyway, um, I was going to do a kind of a commercial, so to speak, on this book that I'm reading, and I decided I'm just going to go ahead and start today. How about that? Because I'm reading it. I don't know what you're reading, but I just started reading this book, and this book is from Miles Monroe, and I want to invite you guys to read this book with me and tune in as I just go over some of the key points. Try not to hold you up for too long, but I'm on chapter 1 and I just started reading it today, and it is some of the things that it's a refresher of things that you already know, but it's a call out of your potential. And so this is from Miles Monroe, and the book is called Understanding Your Potential. Okay, understanding your potential. And so let me just give you what the chapters are about, because I think this is something that we all really need. Chapter 1, everything in life has potential. We're going to go over that. If I'm fanning and doing all this, I'm fanning flies or something, or pollen, or anyway. See, pollen. Everything in life. I found a spider on my bed this morning. I'm like, didn't the people come who do I have people come to spray around the house and everything. I'm going to have to call them. Anyway, everything in life has potential is chapter 1. You don't want to miss this. Chapter 2, the source of all potential. Who are you? Right there, we could just, those 3 chapters, but that one in particular, because a lot of us are operating and we don't know who we are. That's why we don't know our potential. What happened to the real you? Oh my goodness. In the body of Christ, what happened? In the world, what happened? As a woman, what happened? As a man, what happened? What happened to the real you? Oh my goodness. Chapter 5, whose wisdom? Certainly not mine. Why were you born? What can you do? We so busy looking sometimes for other people to pull out our potential when you have the capability to pull the potential out. The Bible says, stir up the gift. And it wasn't that I'm supposed to stir up your gift. You're supposed to stir up the gift that's within you. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, challenge your ability. The key to your potential. I'm on chapter 9, y'all. Limiting your unlimited potential. Woo. How many of us limit ourselves? This is going to be powerful. Keys to fulfilling your true potential. Dare to believe in your potential. Hey guys, this book is powerful, as you can see from the 12 chapters that I just read to you. And not only there is a study guide. So why am I doing this? Number 1, I feel it's necessary for people, okay, to understand their potential, because we're not living out our potential. We're not even getting close to realizing the potential that is within us, yet alone accomplishing that potential, right? The subtitle says Discovering the Hidden You. Yes, there are things that are within inside of you. There's something that God has placed inside of you that He doesn't want you to take to your grave. He doesn't want me to take to my grave. He's saying, I want you to go, I want you to do, I want you to be all that I've called you to be. Stop moving in fear and calling it faith. No, 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 no. We are moving in fear, talking about I'm waiting on God, when God is like, wait a minute. You no longer have to wait on me. You just got to go ahead on and move and do. Oh, let me just leave that alone, because that is not the topic right now. But I do want to go in, because I said I wasn't going to. I was going to read a couple chapters, and then I said, you know what, Tisha, this is what happens, right? And then we start delaying things. Okay, we start putting off things. See, anybody who's heard me preach know I preach with a mirror. and I will hold the mirror up and I will talk to myself while I'm preaching to the mirror, because you've got to know that, like my pastor says, when a finger's coming pointing at you, there is more pointing back at me. I got 3 fingers pointing back at me, okay? And so therefore God is talking to me also. He's talking to all of us, that we have to understand our potential, that we have to discover the hidden you. We have to discover what God has got put into us, but we have to first realize some things. And so let's just kind of review chapter 1. Chapter 1 is everything in life has potential. Oh, you know what I love about this book also so far? There's a study guide at the end. You know how much this book cost me? Y'all can go down to the Christian family stores. Okay, the book was on the $5 shelf. Okay, it was on the $5 shelf, y'all. I bought this book last week. Go in the store, get the book. Okay, get the book. And if you missed the $5 sale, you know what, just get a coupon. Okay, go online and download it online, that kind of thing. It's a beautiful day out here in Seattle. Let me turn this thing. I just want y'all to see something. You see this? This is my little development here. See that? Why am I doing that? Because it's sunny out here. They said it was going to be raining and cloudy. Oh, Lord. It's not raining and it's not cloudy. So, I drank my coffee already, y'all. I gotta stay away from that stuff. Anyway. All right, so chapter 1, everything in life has potential. So some of y'all thinking that you don't have potential. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, I'm too old. I don't have no more potential. I'm sorry, everything until it dies has a potential of growth. I've not seen any seed, okay, that is still living, not able to produce. So if you feel like you have no potential, then, well, you can't be. You cannot have no potential and still feel, because you would be dead. Anyway, the book goes on. So that was just the title, y'all. All men are sent to the world with limitless credit, but few draw to their full extent. That's the caption to this title of this chapter. All men are sent to the world with limitless credit, but few draw to their full extent. Right? Only a minute percentage of people will experience a significant fraction of their true potential. Now, as you look at the world and you see things going on, and you know that so many more people have so much more potential to do things than they are realizing. Sometimes that you look at people and we look at our thought process and things, and you're looking at this person because you see so much more inside of them than they would allow themselves to reveal to themselves, okay? So this book says, it's a tragedy to know that with over 5 billion people on the planet today, only a minute percentage will experience a significant fraction of their true potential. They may even realize some things, but never really walk out the trueness of what God has called them to be, to do, to go, to live, okay? Perhaps you are a candidate for contributing to the wealth of the cemetery. Now, if that doesn't hit home, I was having a talk with somebody, and they're kind of older, and so it was like, just got the sense that a lot of times when you're older, you kind of get the sense of, well, my life's done, and, I'm going to just leave that to you guys. And, but I told this person, how selfish is that? How selfish is that? How selfish is that the generation would rather take the things to the grave that they have learned. If you are older, okay? If you are older, if you are 50 plus, if you are 60 plus, if you are 70 plus, and you still living and you 80 years old, oh my God. The experience. The Bible says that experience teaches wisdom. So the wisdom that you have inside of you, You could learn how to do something new, like get on this Facebook Live and teach some young girls some stuff. How many recipes have been taken to the grave because you don't want to unloose your grandma's favorite recipe, or you figured out how to do that, I don't know, whatever, perfect, and it works for you, but you don't want to give it out? How many things are being taken to the grave because you don't want to give it out? Because you don't want to do it, because you don't want to show, because you don't want to tell. Because to me, that's just being lazy and it's being selfish. You don't want to do that. I don't want to tell. I don't want to. Well, that's not what God gave it to you. That's not why He gave you the skill and the ability to do that. If you having the skill and ability to sow and you are not sowing and you are not showing, man, I look at, I thought about this, my grandmother. I don't care what nobody say. My grandmother makes the best sweet potato pie. I have yet to come across anyone who makes a sweet potato pie like my grandmother. Okay. Now there's this little shop. They sell their sweet potato pies at Thriftway out here in Seattle, and I forget the name of it, or I would say it, but they're a close second. But no one makes it like my grandmother. But guess what you had to be? You had to be in the kitchen to learn my grandma's secret to her sweet potato pie. She couldn't tell you the ingredients. You had to be there. Okay? But guess what? I was in there one time. I lost the recipe, y'all. I'm so mad. But I was in the kitchen with her one time because I wanted to learn how to make this sweet potato pie. I wanted to cook like she cooked. She cooked an awesome Thanksgiving meal. But guess what? Her potential, her sweet potato pies, her recipe went with her to the grave. Do you know that she would bake sweet potato pies and sit them in her little cabinet for people because we all wanted a sweet potato pie? She missed some potential. She missed potential to get out the projects. My grandmother and grandfather lived in the projects for 50 years, and she had the potential in her hands to get out the projects, y'all. Come on now. So the book says, again, for y'all that, thank you for joining in. I see you, Nicole. Hi. I'm reviewing this book, and it's called Understanding Your Potential. And so we're talking about now that the grave, your potential was not given for you to deposit in the grave. You were not made to take the things that you have within you. Your voice, your skill, your ability was not made for the grave. It was made for the land of the living. It cannot do anything in the grave. Come on, y'all. Potential. What is potential? Because people need to know what that is. So potential is dormant ability. It's untapped strength. It's hidden talents. It's all you can be but have not yet become. If you have already done it, it is no longer potential. Boom, you done that thing. Okay? Potential is not what you have done, but what you are yet able to do. And so many of us have potential inside of us. We have the potential to do something, and it has not yet been realized. What is your potential today? Somebody might say, I don't know. But we need to really take a good look at ourselves and see, what is it that we desire? Because most often the things that we like to do are is where our potential lies. So if you like training, I'm looking at this little bird. This little bird's potential is to grow. Your potential is to grow. Okay? Never settle for what you have accomplished. So it says one of the great enemies of your potential is success. I remember this book. It's called The Enemy of Great is Good. Okay, so that reminds me of that. There's a book called Good to Great, and so anyway, the great enemy of your potential is success. Why is that? Because a lot of times people often get comfortable in what they have already accomplished, not knowing that there's more. There's more. That potential just keeps going and going and going, because if you've already done it, it's now an accomplishment. So let's say this: I had an accomplishment, right? I bought a home. Okay, that was my accomplishment. Not this home, but the first home. The first home I bought was, now that was accomplishment. It was no longer a potential. Now I had the potential to go out, and I had the potential to get another home. Okay, a home bigger than the home that I had, that had the what I wanted in the home. That's part of my potential. I worked for a Fortune 500 company for 20 years. During that time, I saw people with potential sit on the phones because they were just unwilling to do what they needed to do in order to move on to the next step. Okay, the greatest tragedy that there is in life is not death. The greatest tragedy is not death, but it's a life that's never realized its full potential. That's the greatest tragedy. Potential doesn't have a retirement plan. This is what I was talking about. You don't get to retire on your potential. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if you're 80 years old. Okay. So you may be thinking, I can't do, but you can, in a way that God gave you to do. You can do. Okay. The potential principle. So it goes into talk about this potential principle. And so here's the deal. I wish I had a seed. If I held a seed in my hand and I asked you, what's in my hand? Most people would say, well, you got a seed in your hand. But do I have a seed in my hand, or do I have a tree in my hand? Do I have a seed in my hand, or do I have fruit in my hand? Do I have a seed in my hand, or do I have a forest in my hand? It goes beyond what you can see. What I can see is the seed, but the potential of the seed has not yet been realized. The potential of the seed is a tree, okay? It's what it could be, okay? Nothing is instant, and so this is where we get all hung up on. Nothing's instant. I want to build a business that's not instant. Hey, I became a trainer at this Fortune 500 company. Guess what, y'all? That wasn't instant. I did not just become a trainer. I had to work at that. I had to apply. How about that? Some of us don't even apply. We don't even put in the application for stuff. We don't put in the application for what we want. We don't put in the application for where we want to go. It's a thought that comes and it goes. We don't even try. Nothing in life is instant. This is one key that I said, ooh, people think miracles are instant. This checked my thinking on miracles, because I thought miracles were instant too, okay? People think miracles are instant, but they really are not. They are just a process that has been sped up. Isn't that something? So the miracle isn't even instant, but it's gone through a supernatural speeding up of a certain thing. So there's still a process that had to be taken, but God and his supernaturalness and his God and his power. That's what I want to say, because we supernatural. God in his power, okay, he applies his super to our natural, and he speeds up the process of financial blessings, of healings. It still goes through the process. It's just sped up. Nothing God created is instant, because God does not operate in the instant. He made one person. God made one person. Whether you like to believe it or not, it's okay. You don't have to get on there and I don't believe that. It's all right. It's okay if you don't. God made, was this what I believe? God made one person. He didn't make 1,000,000 people. He didn't start off with 5 billion people in the earth. He made a one person. That was Adam. He made a one person, and from that one person, he made another one. He made another one, and she was Eve. And from the union of those two, they now create more people and more people and more people and more people. That seed continued to grow. From that one, he created another. And then he blessed them. He said, go. You got my blessing. Now be fruitful and multiply. Plenish the earth. All right, y'all? Don't settle for what you have. God wants you to maximize the potential that He has for you. He's given to you. Too many of us got the settlement spirit. I'm just going to settle. It's a spirit. I call it the spirit. We talk about the spirit of entitlement, the spirit of Jezebel, the spirit of this and the spirit of that. How about the settlement spirit? People got settlement spirit. I'm just going to settle it. That's just the way it is. How many times have you heard somebody say, that's just the way it is? Okay. Too often we die without exploring the gifts, abilities, and successes that lay hidden within us. Like I said, we don't even make the application. Okay. We die without even the exploration. We don't even realize. We don't even explore. We don't even know. I do stuff, y'all. I will get on the computer. I made a website for my church, okay? I made a website for my church. And guess what, y'all? I didn't know how to make a website. I had a desire to make a website. This was years ago. And I saw that other people were doing it. They're websites, right? And I always have this thing of, if you can do it, I can do it, right? Not that I can do it better or whatever, but if I have a desire to do it, and let's say I can't pay somebody to go out and do something because I just, don't have the money right then. I didn't have the money to go out and pay somebody to do a website. So you know what I did? I went online and I Googled website, how to build a website, something. I can't remember what I Googled, but I found a free site that allowed me to click and drop, and I built the website for my church. Okay, I'm still not a professional at it. I went on to use another a host and everything. Now I build a little website for my company, www.tishadicolson.com. Is it perfect? No. It's what I did though, right? It's what I did. And it's going to grow. There's potential in there. And then, guess what? I had opportunity to get paid. So while I may have even thought, well, pay me because I don't even know what I'm doing. I just built a website. But do you know that some people can't build a website? Some people don't even know the first thing about building a website, but they need a website built. So this little community that I live in, well, when the homeowners association was flourishing and things like that, guess what they did? They paid me, I can't remember how much. It was like $100 or something to do a website. I did a website and earned some money. I just did a website for a church. I didn't earn any money. I did it for free because that's what I wanted to do. But some of the stuff and some of the basic things that you think that's just basic and simple, somebody doesn't even know how to do it. We'll pay you to do it. Just the basics. Sometimes I go and I look at some people's websites and I'm like, woo! But guess what, y'all? They did it. What is it that you are not doing because you think you need to be perfected in that thing in order for you to do it? You're never going to do it and be perfected. Too often we die without exploring the gifts, the abilities, and the successes that they just lay hidden within us. And then he's got some suppose. Just think. You know? What if Martin Luther King died before he realized his potential? What if he never even explored the gift of preaching? Because he was a preacher first. What if he never even did that? Where would I be? Where would we be? Where would women be? Because we always talk about, black, because it is black. But what about women? What about other minorities? Where would we be? Where would the country be? Okay. What if Paul never realized his potential? What if he never met Jesus? What if he died before he got there? What if he died before he got to that road on Damascus? Half the Bible's written by Paul, the New Testament. Where would we be? What about Shakespeare? What if he died before he wrote his plays and his poems and all that? What if he died before that? Where would we be? What would we not have realized? What if they failed to use all that was in front of them before the world? What if they just didn't do it? What if Martin Luther King didn't get up there and say, "I have a dream today"? What if that never happened? So it just makes me wonder, what is inside of us that we're just not doing? Don't die with my things. God is saying, don't die with my things. Don't die with my things. What will the world lack because you failed to give out your potential? Don't die with God's things. So I found out one of our coworkers, he committed suicide. I thought he had so much potential. But he committed suicide, y'all. Teenagers, they're committing suicide. What kind of potential did they take with them to their graves? Teenagers, young adults, you got potential that the 80-year-old is saying, I'm too old to have. We just went over that, right? Jesus in John 12:23 and 24, he likens himself to a kernel of wheat. When it's planted, it yields many more kernels. Within Jesus was the potential to bring millions of people to God. He brought millions. His seed, the seed of one, gave life to many. What if the king had, fulfilled what he was trying to do and he killed Jesus before that happened? Then what in the world would have happened to us? Where would we be? Hey. Oh, my husband says he doesn't want to distract me. Anyway. Hi. Not gonna come give me a kiss? What the world needs most is love, sweet love. You gonna go watch me on Facebook Live, boo?
I'm on Facebook Live.
I'm almost done.
It's all right.
All right. I think I've been on here a while now. If you home, I must be a while because I think I started at 11. Anyway, we're reviewing this book.
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't think about Miles Monroe.
What? What you say?
You know about Miles Monroe.
What?
Stop it.
Anyway, Paul. We were talking about Paul. And Paul, if the Bible hadn't been, if Paul didn't, see, my husband had got me all messed up. If Paul had not realized his potential, if he had not gone through what he had gone through, if he had died early in the game, we would not have most of that New Testament, right? Paul died empty, okay? We've heard this before. Die empty. Don't die full. Die empty. How do we know Paul died empty? Paul wrote to Timothy. He said, this is 2 Timothy 4:5-7. He said, I've run the race. I've finished the course. I've kept the work. I've done the work. My award awaits me. I'm ready to die. Hey, y'all, keep working after I'm gone. There was a time when Paul did say, okay, wait, I'm not done yet. But this time he said, I'm done. Most of y'all dying and you know you ain't done. You know you're not done. But you're already, when I say dying, because you're already living a life as though you're dead. Okay? To die with ability is irresponsible. I told this one person that to take the things that you have learned in all your life to the grave with you is selfish. It's selfish. It's selfish. It may not be for you. It may be for your great grandkids to realize what great grandpa did or great grandma did. It's selfish. God packed some things for you for the good of the world, and you need to use them. We need to release our ability before you die. Don't give up until you have lived out the full extent of your potential, because you have no right to die with my things. God said you ain't got no right to die with my things sit inside of you. You don't have a right to die with my things. Don't rob the next generation of the wealth, of the treasure, of the gifts that are inside of you. Amen. That is chapter 1 of this book. There's some key points to remember. If you want to succeed, strike out on new paths. Don't travel the worn paths of accepted success. If it's already been done, it's now an accomplishment and not potential. You still have potential. No man can climb beyond the limitations of his own belief. You got to believe. Every day sends to the grave obscure men and women whom fear prevented from realizing their true and full potential. Every single day. Every day. Would you not be one of them? Could you agree with God right now that you will not be the one who will go to the grave not realizing your full potential? Failure is not the absence of success. Failure is the neglect of trying. Would you agree with me today that you are going to try? Okay? That you're going to put in the application. Okay? What you see is not all there. There is something in everything. There is seed in you. There is a potential in you. You may not see it, but somebody else is seeing it. Maybe you need to get around some people who can see what is in you. And allow yourself to be coachable. Allow yourself to be pulled out. Allow it, people. Allow it to happen. What you have done is no longer your potential. Potential is what you can do, but have not yet done. And these are the principles I'm going to leave you with. God created everything with potential. Nothing in life is instant. Stop looking for instant successes. Ain't going to happen. It seems like people have instant success. You know, I do a lot of network marketing, and for a minute there, I'm like trying to understand how these people have instant success. Now I have learned now, after doing network marketing and internet marketing and not having success, that nothing, not even their success, was instant. Nothing's instant. Nothing. Thanks for the like. Nothing was instant. Okay? They come into it with a whole bunch of people, so it seems like it's instant, but they've been building for 5-10 years. They've been building. Maybe they built somewhere else. A lot of times they built somewhere else, and then they start it somewhere, and then it looks like they have this great success. But it wasn't instant. It wasn't. Everything in life has the potential to fulfill its own purpose, including you. You have the potential to fulfill the purpose that God has placed inside of you. Don't be satisfied with what you are now. Don't be satisfied with what you are now, who you are now. You are expected to grow. I showed you guys my development, and you see all those trees. I'm going to turn them around again because I want to show you the trees. In the trees, when I first moved here, I've been living in this place, what, 10 years, I think? And you know what? These trees, they started small. These trees, let me turn this thing around here. You see these trees? These trees in this development, they started small. You see these bushes in front of my house? Oh my goodness, they need to be trimmed. Oh Lord. See these bushes? You see that bush over there? That bush didn't start like that. As a matter of fact, you know this bush right here? It was over here in the middle. It was in the middle, and it wasn't growing. It wasn't growing. So I took it up and I moved it. Moved it. And y'all see what happens? I moved it. Okay? Everything has a potential to grow. That'll preach right there. I had to move it in order to place it in the right spot in order for it to grow. Sometimes you got to move, okay? But don't be satisfied with where you are. Don't die without using your full potential. The greatest threat to progress is your last successful accomplishment. The greatest threat to progress is your last successful accomplishment. You become complacent in that thing, okay? Yeah, I did that, and so now I'm complacent in that. It's good, it's accomplished. No, there is more for you to do. There is more for you to realize, okay? And then at the end of this book here, guys, there's a study guide. This study guide just recaps everything that we just went over. It recaps everything. This book is powerful. You have got to go and get this book. I ain't making no money for you buying this book. I don't have no stock in Family Christian stores. But what I want you to do is go out and get this book, Understanding Your Potential by Miles Monroe. Discovering the hidden you. You've got to discover it. We've got to uncover it because there is more inside of you. Hey guys, I'm going to continue to go through the review of this book. I'm glad that I sat and talked with you today, and I just went ahead on and did it. And so we'll meet again tomorrow, hopefully at this same time, and we'll review chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the source of all potential. What's your source? Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. If you'd like to catch me, hey, I just did a new blog. I did a blog post. Go to www.tishadcolston.com and look at this. I have 5 legitimate ways your husband can make money from his man cave. Go check me out. You guys have an amazing day.